Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Starseed Origins video. I'm Hannah from Spiritual Tarot, and I'm going to be guiding you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, so as you can see here, I have these gorgeous cards from the deck called the Compendium of Constellations. And they are going to help us today figure out what your starseed origins are. The way this video is going to be set up, I'm taking a little time first to kind of explain to you guys how this is going to work, because we're really kind of tapping into our intuition to figure out where you feel a connection. And this is really a meditative exercise. I'm going to be showing you 35 constellations. They're all here. That is by no means all of them. This is only about a quarter of the deck. However, the ones that I have here are the most common, the most agreed upon constellations that people say their starseed origins are from. It is highly likely that you could have, some origins to a constellation that's not here, but hopefully you do. And this is a grouping that I got from Krista. So she is awesome. If you are into learning more about star seeds, that she is really where I learned a lot from. And she has a video that I am kind of, humbly adapting from. Her video is great, and I kind of saw it as inspiration to make my own, because I have these cards, and there really aren't a lot of starseed origin videos out there. So for people who haven't tried her method, this is based off of hers. I'm definitely not taking credit for it, but I did kind of tweak it to make a little more guided and interactive, because her video is like very cut and dry. If I will link that also, so you can, try her exercise and try mine, see if there's any differences that come up. It would be really cool if you get the same results, because that would be like double confirmation. So yeah, so definitely check hers out. This is my version of what she did. So first of all, you need to be in the right place and the right state of mind. I strongly encourage you to, sit somewhere that's quiet and peaceful, alone in your room or outside. Maybe listen with headphones so that you're not distracted. And all you need is a pencil and notebook paper, because we're going to jot down some notes. And you really just have to have, kind of that relaxed, open state of mind. So if you want to meditate, if that's something that you know how to do, you want to meditate and ground yourself first, that is amazing. Definitely do that. But if you don't do that, that's fine. But basically what you want to start to do is take your paper and pen and number from 1 to 35. I'm basically just going to kind of give you time. I'm going to show you each card. I'm going to, take them, flip them over, and I'm going to start showing you each individual card and allow you some time to kind of check in and see if you feel an intuitive reaction to it. If you do, then just circle it, the number, and you could also write, if you get like maybe a word, or if you get a picture in your mind, something, just jot down notes next to that letter. I'm not going to show you the name of the constellation at first, because you really just want your intuition to guide you rather than, your mind, your ego, just kind of picking like a card that you like. So it's going to be a long video. Feel free to pause. If you need to write down something, feel free to go back, fast forward, jump around, blah, 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 whatever you need to do. This is a fun, playful exercise, so don't overthink it. Okay, so we are going to get started, and good luck. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is write your numbers 1 through 35 on a piece of paper, and I kind of go like this, like make columns, so that if you need to write little notes, you can. You might want to, have just one line. It's whatever feels right to you. I just realized I can't talk and write at the same time. So there's that. Okay. And so on. Okay, so when you've numbered your paper, the first thing I want you to do is, if you haven't already, just quiet your mind and take a few seconds to focus on your intention and ask the universe, ask your guides to show you what starseed, constellation, what constellation you have roots in. You can ask them where you come from. You can ask what constellations are important to you. If you want, you can kind of write that at the header, write your question, and just, set your intention to be clearly guided to find out what you need to know today. And surprisingly, sometimes you will get a number in your mind right now. So if you feel guided to circle any of the numbers right now, feel free to do so. And if you feel guided to cross any of the numbers out, feel free to do so. Okay, card 1. Take a minute to see how this card feels to you. And this card is the constellation Sagittarius. Okay, take a few seconds. This is Taurus. This is Camelopardalis, if I am saying that correctly. And that was number 3. So number 4 is Reticulum. Number 5 was lupus. And number 6 is Centaurus. Okay, so that is our first row. 7. Ursa Minor. And 8. Pegasus. Pleiades. That's 9. Okay, I'm pulling 10 now. Lyra. This is 11. Scorpius. And 12. Orion. Okay, same as the first row. Feel free to write any reactions, emotional feelings you may have felt when looking at these cards. And let's move on to the third row. This is number 13, Aries. Hercules. Draco. So this is 16. Lepus. Libra. Leo. Okay, so 19 is Aquarius. Pisces. Oh. Capricornus. 22. Ursa Major. I keep losing count. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, 23. Cetus. 24. Cassiopeia. Okay, so that is the 4th row done. We're up to 24 now. Moving right along to 25. Cancer. This is 26. Andromeda. 27. Cephas. Or Cepheus, I don't know. This is 28, I believe. Canis Major. Nine. Boots. And 30. Monoceros. Okay, so that is up to card 30. And the last row. You're almost there, you guys. You've done great so far. This is 31. What's this? Gemini is 31. Virgo is 32. 33. Canis Minor. Serpents is 35 or 34, sorry. And the last card, card number 35, is Cygnus, I believe I'm saying that right. Okay, so that is your Starseed Origins meditation. I hope that this was able to guide you and help you get some clarity, help your intuition to find the star system that you feel your heart belongs to. That is the end of your reading. It was really a self-guided reading. I was merely just the vehicle to help you guys along your journey. The few things I wanted to say is that there is not a ton of information on many of the constellations that we see here. The most popular ones for Starseed, and I say popular kind of like in quotes, but the most well-known are probably going to be Pleiades, Lyra, Orion. You'll hear a lot about Orion. You hear a lot about Draco. And let's see, Andromeda is a huge one. You know, a couple other ones, right? Some of the other ones that we have here, there's not a ton of information on. And so, you know, don't be discouraged if you were kind of drawn to a more fringe constellation, I guess, if you don't find very much information on, let's say you were really drawn to Camelopardalis. I actually don't know very much about that constellation, but you know, you're basically finding the origins of your soul. So a lot of what you will learn about these places, the beings from these places, comes from your intuition. So now that you have a name and a place in your mind, now you can start doing the work. If you're not able to find information online, I encourage you to do tarot readings. I encourage you to do meditations. I encourage you to do automatic writing, to ask your guides and see what information is revealed to you about the star system that you are from. The best information that you will get is from your own soul, because guess what? You are the one that's been there. So do not be discouraged if you can't find information about your starseed planet and your starseed constellation, because frankly there is not a ton out there. There is, but it's hard to find, so there's nothing wrong with just looking within. That being said, I want to try to help you guys, and I'm going to start doing readings for the constellations you see here. I'm going to try to make a series where I just use the tarot to connect and get some information about the constellations and the starseed people that originate from these many constellations, because really, besides the information that is out there about the star systems that I told you about Pleiades and about Arcturus, there's not a ton. So even for the zodiacs, and that brings me to my next point. You might be kind of surprised to see the constellations of the zodiac included in here. I know I was. And there's not a lot of starseed information that is in connection to the zodiac signs. You may have origins in a constellation that is not your sun, moon, or rising sign. I kind of would be surprised if you did, honestly. So that is another level that you can kind of explore. Like, let's say, I'm a Libra. Maybe I have starseed origins in Aries. What does that mean? How does that change how I look at my chart? If you're into astrology, maybe you look into, what Aries means and kind of try to see how does that influence, who I am. Maybe I always felt a connection to Aries and I didn't know why. That's one way of looking at it. So if you were drawn to a constellation that wasn't in connection with your birth chart, I think that that's really exciting, and I think that that could be something interesting to journal on and explore and research, because that constellation could have a lot to teach you and may add like another level into your birth chart that you hadn't really explored or seen before. And the last thing is, because this is an oracle deck, you guys saw how each one has a word associated underneath. And if you were able to see the word that is associated with the constellation that you feel connected to, I really suggest reading into like the actual mythologies behind them and behind each constellation, and even like the astronomy of it. What stars make up the constellation. Just kind of look into it, like look for pictures of it on NASA's website. There's a lot you can do, because the words here actually directly relate to either the mythology of the sign, or, you know, some of these constellations are less well known and actually don't have a mythology associated with them. So the word is really just simply, you know, kind of like recalling back to its name, or, you know, maybe the person who discovered it. So the person who created this deck, you know, was just very thorough about how they gave the words to each constellation, and I find it super interesting, and that's something that I really like about this deck. But, you know, if you feel drawn to a constellation and you want to, you know, learn more about your soul's connection to it, I highly suggest that you not only look into the spiritual and metaphysical aspects of it, but also like the scientific aspects of it, the real like astronomy of it all. Go outside, like go try to find it out in the, like if it is in the proper hemisphere that we're in, like go look at the stars outside, look at NASA's website, you know, all that stuff, because you will just learn so much, you know, about your starseed origins when you do that. You'll be really surprised, like the information that you can get from, you know, researching it in other ways. So that is my advice. I know it was long-winded, but I hope it helps. I really believe in connecting with your, you know, soul origins. So I think that this is super important work that you can do for yourself. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next Starseed video.